Well, it's been quite a year, and I've covered more gear and topics than I would have imagined. As most of you probably know, this is a young channel, having just begun last February. So join me as we take a look at my first year. Well, I talked about a couple of amps this year, and also demoed half a dozen pickups in addition to about 8 videos testing pedals. I'd say guitar reviews predominated. So to keep this video to a reasonable length, that's what I'll focus on today. The first guitar I demoed was the Vola Vasti. It's a wonderful and very much underappreciated guitar, beautifully crafted in Japan. Next up was my most watched video of the year, the Paul Reed Smith SE Silver Sky. Despite buying it during the height of the hype, I was genuinely surprised how good this Indonesian-made version of John Mayer's signature model actually is. There was also a lot of interest in the Ibanez AZ 2204N, a guitar I'd wanted to try since they were first announced. Well, it did not disappoint. The Fender Classic Player Jazzmaster was a fine guitar, but despite the fact I grew up playing a vintage Jazzmaster, I found this one didn't really suit what I do these days. Still, a quality instrument that will be just right for some styles. The SE Silver Sky got me interested in the PRS SE series in general. So I grabbed an SE Custom 2408 and was once again impressed with the overall quality and fine out-of-the-box playability. Well, this channel has no financial support, so sadly I can't keep all the guitars I like, and I sold the Custom 2408. But later I caught sight of a beautiful Custom 24 with a spalted maple top which was sadly damaged in shipping. I replaced it with the SE Paul's guitar, which was pretty impressive. The Gretsch G5622T was another solid import guitar. While it could have used a little fine-tuning of the fretwork, overall it was well made and I thought the import pickups were very cool. I've been impressed with Eastman guitars since I first played one several years back. At that time, most guitars made in China were entry-level, but Eastman was a different animal altogether, and they really feel like the hand-crafted instruments they are. The T386 is their least expensive model, but it's a classy semi-hollow that would suit hobbyists and pros alike. Well, I've played Fenders since I was 12, and I recently heard very good things about the Mexican-made Player Series. So I bought a Player Series Telecaster for review. Very nice guitar, but a real shame the nut had been incorrectly cut. That didn't really impact playability, but it's too bad Fender didn't catch that before it left the factory. That aside, these seem very close to the USA Fenders. Interestingly, the Squier Classic Vibe Telecaster Deluxe was pretty much flawless. Even the fretwork was top-notch. The pickups were a little bit of a letdown, but this guitar, with more authentic-sounding wide-range humbuckers, could really be a pro-level instrument. The Paranormal Offset Telly was another winner from Squier. Again, very nice quality. Well, I think Epiphones inspired by Gibson line has been pretty impressive. I reviewed 3 Les Pauls from the line: the Junior, the Special, and the Standard 50s. All were just a good setup away from being solid workhorses that get pretty darn close to their much more expensive Gibson counterparts. They were all equally good, but my personal favorite was the Special. Epiphones' recreation of the early 60s Crestwood Custom was also very cool. The D'Angelico Premier Bedford was another cool and unique guitar with a lot going for it. The Gibson SG Junior is a pro-level guitar that was very nicely made and proves Gibson, while not especially consistent, can still make some fine guitars. The EART SSS has to be the all-time cost-to-value winner. I'm still dumbfounded every time I pick it up. But this year's guitar that impressed me enough to add it to my handful of main stage guitars is the Paul Reed Smith S2 Standard 24. It's lightweight, it plays effortlessly. I did swap out the stock pickups for Duncan Alnico 2 Pros, but that wasn't really out of necessity. These just happen to be some of my favorite humbuckers. Despite being less than half the price of the least expensive core model, it plays and sounds every bit as good. All the pedals I tested were very nice, but it's the Mad Professor Sweet Honey that earned a place on my board, and it gets a ton of use. It just has that dynamic amp-like quality that I really enjoy. So there you have it, my first year. I've received a lot of wonderful comments in the past year, and I really can't thank all of you enough. Early in the year, I set a subscriber goal, and I have to say I'm very, very close. I probably won't quite get there, but I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to all of you who've watched my channel, and a very special thanks to those who've already subscribed. If we continue to grow, there'll be lots more coming in the new year. I'm also thinking of offering t-shirts like this. So let me know if you'd be interested. So until next time, take good care of yourselves. Stay safe, enjoy making music, and I will see you soon.